So what's up everybody, it's me, True Star Screamer. Oh yeah, we are on fire today. And we're here to look at a new G.I. Joe Classified Series review, the Cobra-La Royal Guard. You know, Cobra-La, la 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 la, Cobra-La. Yeah, it's in your head now, deal with it. I actually have two of these guys on pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store. And I was able to catch this on the Target drop. This does not happen to me often, and I am feeling quite fortunate. This guy, we've got a lot to talk about. You can see it all here. Backwards stuff on the back. They have them fully loaded. We've got heads. We've got accessories. Got some really nice art. This guy is $191, and yeah. Let's get this guy open. I can tell you now, this is going to be some fun stuff. Okay, we got the tray out here. Oh, by the way, if you guys can tell me where I did my Cobra-La song from, tell me in the comments. I don't have a prize for you, but you might need, if you know where that song came from, you might need to make a doctor's appointment because, you know, you're getting up in the years. I digress. There is so much stuff in this tray. We've got the figure. We've got 3 additional heads. We get shoulder pauldrons, gauntlet blades, a sword, a spear, a pistol, wings, which I cannot wait to get out of the package. All this for $42. Yet they charge us how much for an Ultimate Thor? Yeah. This is like Hasbro by showing themselves how it's supposed to be done. And, go figure. But let's break this guy out. Let's talk about all the various accessories, the uses for them. I am excited for this, and I haven't been really this excited for an action figure in quite some time. There are a lot of good things to say about this figure. It's not perfect. There are a few gripes. I mean, come on. I'm critical. It's what I do. But there is a lot more good than bad. The whole Cobra-La saga, you know, you started off with the Cobra Commander, which was an exclusive. Then we had Nemesis Immortal, which was, frankly, a very disappointing figure, which was also an exclusive. Then we got Pythona, also an exclusive, who was a very good figure. Reviews for all these figures are on this channel, by the way. Then we came to the Royal Guard, which is not, first of all, point number 1, not an exclusive. Army builder, and they put it out in the common market. That's awesome. Target, yes, they got an early drop, and I still have my Big Bad Toy Store order. Amazon might be sold out of them. But the thing is, they put multiple outlets to get this guy and made him a general release. Also a point. The figure himself is a well done figure, considering with what we're working with and what we have. Now, Pythona and the Royal Guard and the Guard here are very prominent in the Void Rival comics from Skybound, which if you're not reading, I do recommend. So that's also a reason why we have some of these unmasked heads. The figure itself, I'll kind of go with like gripe versus positive and such. Probably one of my biggest issue is with the articulation. There is pretty much no butterfly joint whatsoever. That kind of annoys me. Ab crunch, pretty much non-existent. I bet I could do the whole thing of pop and swap, hit the Dremel and get some more stuff. I might wait for, God, I keep forgetting the guy's name who's on YouTube Shorts. He always does some nice tutorials. I might see if he does one for one of these guys. But so those are some of my issues. The painting we could absolutely always have more paint. Even just on the armor itself, which is really well detailed, but probably some dry brushing could absolutely happen for this. And those are my main gripes with the figure. Maybe, running a wire through the cape, but that is literally me being greedy. I've got a soft goods cape though. That is really nice. Because then we start talking about the positives. Oh, and maybe some additional hands. And again, that's being greedy as well, but I kind of would have liked proper sword holding hands with a vertical hinge. That I think would have been nice. Talking about the positives though, joints are solid. They are stiff, but not but manageable. I don't feel like I have to flinch to bend the joints. They've got some very nice, I guess, detents in them. You know, they ratchet really well, so they hold their pose. Got my drop down hip, yay. Got a thigh swivel. Got a boot swivel too. You know, I've seen with a lot of the Cobra-La figures, there actually hadn't been any. So that's a very nice touch. Detail on the armor is really nice. You know, you've got the whole crustacean feel to it. The pauldrons here, they're actually on a peg in the shoulder, and then I can pop this out here for you right now. So this is just a little ball joint in that. There's a little hole in the cape. Pop that in there, and everything holds together. And it's very easy to take this out. It doesn't feel scary, and they cut the hole in the soft goods cape just right, so you don't feel like you're popping it in and out, that you're causing additional stress to the fabric. I think that's also very nice. Also, because of how it's designed, if you're a person who sews, you could absolutely make yourself your own cape and wire it. You could use this as a template. So that actually makes it very customizing friendly, you know, as opposed to, say, McFarlane, for example, for their Spawn capes. You know, this makes things, you don't feel like you have to do any cutting or trimming on it. So very, very nice. So for you people who like to improve your own figures, it's friendly for that. The detail on this face, I love this manacle grin. The eyes are well painted. I guess a wash would have been nice for all this, but that's something I can do myself, and I don't feel intimidated on doing that. So decent on the articulation. That's probably my biggest gripe on the figure. I guess again, no butterfly joints. I don't think there's any way I can do any surgery for that, and the painting. So there's my major gripes. Everything else though, pretty solid. I can do a lot of the poses I want him to do. I think one thing that was actually kind of cool, I had no issue doing the superhero Iron Man landing on that, which I thought worked really well. I'll probably put that with a... There you go. So he can do it. Where he really shines though is all the accessories. So let's break that stuff out. For those who did not get my trivia question on my Cobra-La song, that was actually a variation of the old Banana Splits theme song. Look it up. Again, it will be stuck in your head for the rest of your day. That being said, let's talk accessories. I will be frank. I think actually, my name's Dave, but that was bad. I feel that someone is a fan of Mythic Legions when they were putting this figure together in all the best ways. From the head options, the armor options, the weapon options. It is all really neat. Let's talk about the heads. Again, we got the crazy maniacal grin face, and then oops, dropped it here. And then we got this really nice scarred face. I can't remember if these guys are prominent characters in the Void Rivals comic, but I think it's really cool that we get these helmeted and unhelmeted options here. One could also take one of these faces if they chose to, maybe add some more scarring to it, and that could work as a neat Cobra-La pre-Cobra Commander, if you know what I'm saying. I thought that would be kind of neat. Again, these just pop right off. My usual ball peg, yay. Could probably cut that out to make some more stuff. But again, pops right on. Bob's your uncle. It looks really good and completely changes the whole demeanor of the figure, which is always awesome. Then we get our two Royal Guard heads. The actual armor part of it, I think, is absolutely beautiful. This is that that wash I thought that would be great if put on for the rest of the figure. I love the compound eyes on these. So we got basically your regular trooper, and I guess this could be your commander helmet with all the additional bone armor on it. I feel though the lower part of the helmet is a little lackluster, that could absolutely use a little more paint. You know, something on the hose here with maybe some blues or some grays. I wouldn't probably do a metallic because that would kind of kill the whole bio aspect to it. But I think this is probably it brings the figure down, and that's shared with both of them on the whole respirator aspect. Then we get these upgraded shoulder pads, just beefier, more armor to it. These look absolutely beastly in all the right ways. And you saw how we just unplug these and then just thread that through on the shoulder. Which is the best way of doing it? Does the bone part go forward? I think the bone part goes forward. Yeah. So that'll go through there, and that'll just plug right in. And again, you could go with the symmetric look and asymmetric look, and this is that whole Mythic Legions feel to it. You know, take that off, put the commander helmet on there. That just bulks it up beautifully. Also, again, the regular Royal Guard helmet looks really good on this. You know, it just needs a little more with that. But I love how this looks. So you could go your shock troop, you could go your normal troop, you could take the cape off if you want because it's just threaded on there if you find that too distracting. It just gives so many cool options. Another aspect I was just thinking about is you could come with various ranks. Again, the helmet here could be the squadron leader, but at the same time you have the normal head, you just upgrade his shoulder pads, and that's why he's now just a mid-tier rank. It does so much on playability of, honestly, truly army building of all the variations you can do with it. He does come with a, frankly, very disappointing pistol. Really got nothing to say on that one. I think this really could have used a little more paint or even just a little more biomechanical flair, to be honest. It's a nice gun, don't get me wrong, but it is just kinda meh, to be honest. And with all that gray, it just gets lost in there. I mean, I would have maybe used some of this blue in there, but I mean, it does have a port for a weapon effect, which is nice and all. I mean, look, we got that little bit of silver on here. We could have used some of that paint on here. Just to, yeah, this is the dump stat right here. It's like, oh yeah, we forgot, we got to put a gun, give him a gun. Me, I took advantage of my new 3D printer. I printed this out. I'm probably gonna have some fun painting this up and give him something with a little more, you know, stature per se. On to the more positive things. I love these gauntlet blades. You just pop the hand out of the wrist, and these will remove the old gauntlets, slide these guys on there. You've got some great close combat work. Also for mid-air flight attacks, this works really well too. But I absolutely love these. Again, though, I don't know why they couldn't get the same wash that got. I think, again, I can do that myself, but you can see the tech. I don't know if my camera picks it up, but the texturing's in there. So there's no reason that these should have been left out on that. But I really do like these a lot. It's a fantastic add-on weapon to it. I also kind of dig, I like my asymmetric look, so I like the idea of maybe just having one hand, his dominant hand, having that weapon for the close combat, and then giving him a ranged weapon for his other, whether it be the pistol I had 3D printed, or some kind of like biomechanic, I don't get it, yeah, a biomechanical rifle, which I really think these guys should have come with, to be honest. I love all these melee weapons, but they should have had some kind of ranged rifle for them. Speaking of more melee weapons, we then get this halberd here with, this is a perfect sentry weapon, again keeping your enemies at bay. You've got your blade here on the end to drive into, which is probably armor piercing. Again, just the weathering would have been really nice to have on it, but very nice to have. And then we also have this beautiful sword. Again, it's like bone, and they're just denying you seeing the detail on this because it's there, because it's a single piece of plastic with the painted handle. They could have used this same paint and dry brushed or washed this. It wouldn't have been going into the budget, I feel, and just would have really brought some life to it. This stuff is going to be going in the paint shop after this review, I guarantee. Finally, speaking of budget, this is where it really went into these beautiful, beautiful wings. I can't talk crap about these. These are gorgeous. The coloring is nice. The little bit of paint on here. This is lovely. This is absolutely lovely, and this is an absolute highlight of the whole figure. You go back here. There's actually ports right here on the back. These will go right into there. I'll finagle this off camera for a second, but this is an absolute delight. Part of it. Yeah, it goes in there fine. I personally think it looks better with the shorter pauldrons. I think that these are actually blocking the way, so with the short, I'm actually going to change that out for the shorter pauldrons to kind of go more for a flight drone look. So give me 1 second here. That was a little trickier than I wanted it to be, and I want to give you guys a little bit of advice. What I did, probably the easiest thing to do actually, is to pop off the pauldrons, plug in the wings, then put the pauldrons in again, and have this over the wing ports. Also, I'm only keeping the cape on here because it was on the picture. It feels like it's stretching a little bit. I honestly think it would be better to not have the cape with the wings. Even though that's used on that promotional picture, I think in the long run you will be happier that way. Doesn't look bad, don't get me wrong, but again, it just feels like it's putting stress on the fabric down here, and this is thin enough already. So I think if I do put figures in this look, I'm going to keep those without the ones with the wings are going to be sans cape, which I don't think actually takes away from the figure. Actually, that was a really bad edit, I know. But without the cape, yes, it actually makes the wings more prominent, and then when you fold the wings down anyway, like so, it almost gives them that you still have that pseudo cape silhouette. So yes, if you elect to have it with the wings, I would take the cape off. And I think it works better because then you can also still fold the wings around. These wings are also light. They do not mess with the balance of the figure at all. One thing I will say, does kind of bring into prominence that he can't look up. So if you're going to be doing flying, he'll be doing the whole kind of more hovering like this versus actually flying like that. But yeah, these wings are they're beautiful. It looks good. And yeah, take off the pauldrons, take off the cape, then the wings, replug in the pauldrons, sans cape, and I think you'll be happy. And when it's all said and done, that's the most important thing, being happy with your purchase. I am. Like I said, this is a great figure. This is probably one of Hasbro's best figures in general, in any line. I'm going to say it. This is an absolutely fantastic figure. Is it perfect? No. Again, I would love more paint. I feel it needs more articulation. You get a ton of accessories, absolutely, but I really feel this guy should have had some kind of rifle, some kind of truly ranged weapon versus that really lousy pistol. Again, I'm going to paint this guy up, and I'm going to upgrade the pistol, and I'm going to ideally get this guy in a little more of a bioorganic color. But I think they should have had some kind of venom-spitting rifle. Something like the Tyranids would have had. And if you know, you know. But it hits all the things I want. For an army builder especially, I've got so many configuration options here. Flight, ground, sentry, sergeants, assaults. Like I said, I bought 2 of these guys at Target. And I am keeping my Big Bad Toy Store order of 2 more figures. So I'm going to have 4 of these guys, absolutely. And then I'll probably just use Pythona as their squad leader. But you'd be happy with 6. You've got so many options of things you can do. So many ways of customizing it. Again, if you want to paint, please paint. If you don't feel about it, you don't feel like you're the type of person who paints, you got enough things to be happy about. Yeah, this is a this is an absolute home run for Hasbro. 100%. This is a home run for an action figure altogether. You know, this is your... Get a bunch of these guys and have them go up against the Swarm, you know, for your Action Force figures. You know, the whole time, the guys who were in charge of the Swarm were like, I don't know, basing it off of hieroglyphics or ancient tomes that showed Cobra-La. You could work it all in there. You could still fit this with any of your science fiction line of just having a bioorganic component, you know, army for them to go against. I love it. No symbol, no nothing. It mixes in with anything. Custom friendly. It hits all the triggers. And for what you're paying for, you're absolutely getting your value for dollar. Quality control is solid. Looks pretty. There you go. Unless it's just not your style, it's worth, I think, picking up one or two of these guys for your collection. And those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think I'm being too Hasbro-y for it? Do you think I still should be more critical about it? Hey, I do read these things. I listen to, I mean, I get like maybe 2 or 3 comments, so it's not like you guys are lost in the comments. But if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Again, I got more things coming in. I still have this guy to review. I keep on meaning to, but stuff keeps coming in. I've got, believe it or not, loose collector stuff coming in, even though I swore I wasn't going to buy anymore. It's all here. Stick with the channel. And as always, my friends, until next time, take care. Peace.